Welcome to Rooted Cosmic Soul for another collective insight session. The energy, the energy today where I am is pretty amazing. The weather is changing pretty swiftly, quickly. It's really warm, then it's really cold, and it's really warm. And my experience of today is that it was a pretty weird time day. Like time seemed to be coming in and out. And I also was having like these really interesting experiences that required me to really tap into self-inquiry and my shadow pieces is just sort of figure out, what is that feeling? What is that about? Let's check in. And just had a really beautiful experience with my higher self, with my shadow parts, with my ancestors and my spirit guides. And so in reciprocity, I'm going to do a reading for the collective. Part of the weirdness in a good way, probably weirdness in a good way, is that Onyx is here, my little trusted psychic companion, the barometer of my life, which she usually is always in the room when I do a reading, but she has planted herself right behind my chair. So like before I get up, she's going to have to scoot, which is not a place that she ever really lays. So she is here with us. Let's jump in. For today's insight message, I'm leaning into one of my layout options that I have when I do individual one-on-one sessions, and it's the elemental journey. The foundation of the reading is a 5-card spread, and we're going to be leaning into the number 4. So really thinking about stability, manifestation, endurance, doing that through the 4 directions of north, south, east, west, and their spiritual aspects. And then also the earth elements that manage balance and harmony on this planet: earth, air, water, fire, and ether. Per usual, I asked an archangel to sit with us to help us hold this space, and that was the one who arrived is Raphael, the healer. Raphael brings physical, emotional, and spiritual healing to those in need. As I like to do, we're going to open with a gods, goddess, or guardian who is helping deliver the message. I'm not going to take that because it's 2 of them, and we just want 1, and I think it's just because my fingers slipped on the deck. But God, guardian, goddess for this elemental journey. Mother Mary, interesting. So a message is already starting because Mother Mary is about emotional healing. Raphael has arrived. And it does feel, when I was sitting here drinking my tea, kind of sitting with my energy and my higher self and my healed ancestors and spirit guides in the light, I definitely got a very calm energy. It was very loving, very smooth. So perhaps that's what this reading is going to be about for those who need some healing. We're going to use the elemental oracle, which seemed to make sense to me since we're doing an elemental journey. And so we've got north, we've got south, we've got east, we've got west, and we've got ether. And then to help us with the insight, the words, the language, the processes, the ideas, the tools that will help us go inward, to do the self-inquiry, the inward dive, to unpack the message. Got the Transmuting the I deck. move these so that I can fit. Cards. Here. Here. I want to put her, for some reason I'm feeling like kind of at an angle. I don't know why yet. Maybe we'll figure out why I'm feeling that. I'm also trying to make sure that I can get all of your cards in here. And then on West. I mean on the ether card or grounding card. And then actually, you know what's interesting is that do you want me to change that? Nope. Okay. There. And then final card to help us process the message. Getting the message to put that over here with Archangel. How interesting. Not last time. Okay. So as you can see, I definitely had to take time to sort of take this in. It is a really beautiful message. When I was putting the cards out, remember I was saying, I was like, I'm feeling the need to do it this way. And I knew that even with Mother Mary coming in at an angle there, I was like, it'll flow. It'll be made clear to me why that is. And as I was looking over everything, it dawned on me that this is a spiral, that it starts at Mother Mary, it moves around and comes like this. And so that's how I'm going to offer this to you. With the opening of Mother Mary emotional healing, that this is a moment of real deep emotional healing, and it's calling in inner child. So this is shadow work. This is a story about really knowing that you're being held as you step into some deep emotional healing, clarifying work. Mother Mary is considered, in some aspects, is considered to sort of reside over a sacred pool, that sacred pool of emotions. And it's interesting, right? In that case, and she's wrapped in this beautiful blue shawl. Moving into our very first card in terms of our elemental journey was water. And it's signified with another crone of energy, really beautiful energy of stepping into the power of water to you know, this story for you could be about just letting it flow. You're really in the healing of deep emotional healing already, and the offering is to just really let it flow. And from that flow, from the energy of water and ancient crone knowledge, you can create the next level of where you're going, of what you're doing. It could also just be water in terms of the flow of emotion, of having the space to just let it swirl, let it sit in water, because water will purify, water will help the process clarify what is coming up and what do you need. And the insight offering is to remember, as you are going through this really deep emotional healing period, is to remember your power within. Remember that you have everything that you need to embark on, continue your healing journey and this process. And if you need a place to focus on, focus at the solar plexus, that sense of power, choice, free will. You are the master of your ship. And a energy to lean into is vulnerability. And it's interesting because the vulnerability card is the equivalent to the sun card, which could be, like in traditional tarot, there's usually a child there with a little naked bottom. I call it the vulnerability card. It's like, let your inner child run free. And Mother Mary, when you're doing emotional healing, she's really there to hold the baby you that is seeking the healing as you go deep into your shadow work. And so it's moving into, it's like water is going to hold you, and the emotions that arise. Remember, this was the North card, so it's earth of my body. A material place to explore is going to be, how do I incorporate water in my healing journey, whether that is spiritually or practically. And as you're doing that, just remember your immanent power and your inner child. Be vulnerable as you start processing this work, because you are being held by Raphael, the healer, brings physical, emotional, and spiritual healing to those in need. It's really interesting because I'm going to put the card here. I just feel like to put it here because it's such a cool, it kind of like all the colors are flowing together between Mother Mary, Raphael, and water element. As you are in that, remember movement is going to be key. I'm feeling like I want to put this back here because movement is going to be key to your emotional healing process. So whether that is making sure that you're outside walking every day, or if you like to swim, if you like to run, if you do yoga, if you do, depending on what your mobility is, whatever your mobility is, incorporating some level of movement to get that energy that you're holding, that emotional energy that you're processing, that you're moving through. You want to let it run free and release it. It's really like, I feel like I was asked to put the card back so that you can see that it's like right behind it, I have the Raphael card. And so it's like movement's going to allow all that energy, all the processing that you're doing over this emotional work to release. And Raphael is going to bring some physical, emotional, and spiritual healing to you through that release. It may be, you need to ask for it. Like, I was always taught that angels don't interrupt our lives. They don't come in without an invitation. So if that's something that really speaks to you, make sure that you ask and say, I would like, Archangel Raphael I would like you to come and support me in this process. And again, remember I said it was a spiral. It was really interesting. Like, I came through and this was going to be the technically, no, it actually, yeah, it is it actually is the third card, but Spirit's telling me to go this way. And I love that the coloring kind of works as well. But as you are doing that work of releasing, the story moves into this idea of solidity, of really helping you, that emotional healing that you're doing. And then the release, so the process of healing can be, really kind of thick, you can sometimes feel stuck. It can feel stagnant. And that's why you've got the water energy coming in and the flow to help you release that. And so as you do that, what that's going to help bring in is a sense of solidity, offering your inner core some release. It's actually really beautiful because the Spirit said to go from, wrap around and go here. If you see, like, she is in the water creating the healed aspect of herself, and the doves are coming out. And in the inner core, as you're doing that work and you're releasing the trappings of what this world has told you are, and forced you into, which is often where some traumas come from, you're releasing that. And allowing for your creation and your truest self to flow up. A way to hold that solidity, to really reinforce that inner core, is to remember your power. You're being asked, and this is like the first time we talked about power, it was really in the mind, for you to, like, as you're doing that healing work, you might start having thoughts that I can't do this. I don't have this. Sometimes there's those beautiful memes on social media where someone is like, I don't know why God thinks I could carry this. Like, I didn't ask for all this. This is too much. And so those are thoughts, right? And it's like, no, truly, you're never going to be given more than you can carry. And so in this, it's like, it's asking you to come to it through your heart, not your mind. And through your heart space, remember your power, and that you can solidify that inner core of your authentic self, of who you are, by engaging boundaries and protections. It's your space, right? So own your space, own your energy, own your agency. And as the mind starts, like, you're moving through the heart, it's cyclical. These are things that we're trying to unlearn, unlearn indoctrinated ways from a toxic society and construct, and remember harmony and balance from a natural paradigm of the divine feminine. And so it's going to go back and forth between remembering and forgetting. And when you forget, you have tools to remember transmutation, right? To transmute the thoughts that are happening. Breathe, slow down, be curious, compassion, grace, the curiosity piece in place of judgment, breath work, remembering that you have power within that is a force to be reckoned with as it stands against power over. Remembering that you are your own master, right? You are the decider of your fate. Other tools could be, you might still be in the fate, not still, that's not the right word. You might be in a stage where you are using transmutation tools that are from the external, such as therapy, talk therapy, physical therapy. It could be exercise. It could be, it could also be a mix of internal, external, meaning you're going on a block of social media for a little while. You're going to go inward. I have to tell you, at least once a month, I have to go in 3 or 4 days straight. I don't talk to anyone. I don't engage anyone. I don't do social media. I will read and I will write, but that's it. And it just helps with that inner core. It helps with remembering my power and solidified boundaries and protections. When we do that in that story, the offering is the diversity that can come up from remembering the authentic you. Because in our current society, it's very binary. It's very either or, black or white, up or down, right or wrong. There's no spectrum allowed. When you start breaking that, when you break out of that and you are coming to your true power and you're using daily tools to confront that binary way of thinking, you start stepping into a real rich understanding of the beautiful gift of being human at this time on Earth. And what that can help you do is sort of move into this idea of that you are enough and that you get to shine your maximum wattage of who you are. And it's interesting because the authentic shine card is over here, but before we get that in the spiral, you're in that inner core, and it's like, see that light shining there, and it's, you know, it's coming out, and you got the birds singing, and you got a wheel of time and change and process behind there. Well, that's when you do that, you're going to allow your authentic self to come up in an authentic shine. And that's the equivalent of the star card, right? Expression, faith in who you are, faith in the process. And then also invoking collectivism. So by being more, by allowing yourself this process of healing, you then can step into belonging. Your spiritual awakening will really kick in and intensify. Remember that it takes an awakened I to transform your perception of the we. And we're definitely in a moment globally that if, you know, I believe one of the most powerful things ever is self-inquiry. And the reason that it gets diminished and belittled is that it's so powerful that a person who knows themselves, you know, there's that saying, know thyself. That's so powerful. A person who knows themselves cannot be controlled, manipulated. You're not sheep. You're not a robot. And in order to create the world that we want to see, a world that respects Earth, that respects each other, that is less harmful, it requires an awakened I. Because if I'm walking around not respecting myself, not respecting the earth, not respecting others, that's the world I'm in. And I'm not judging. I'm not shaming. I am in that I with you. I am the you are the I, right? So, and I also know that the world I want to see externally, I have to create and generate internally, right? So it takes an awakened I to transform the perception of the we. And as we do this work, we will get that richness, that diversity that is the beautiful experience of being human on planet Earth. And as we're doing that, just remember, because like I said, it's spiral, right? Sometimes it's like, yep, I'm on my healing journey. And then, wait, bam, like I'm on my healing journey. I feel healed. And then something happens, right? And that was kind of my day to day. Like, I 100% was like, yep, I got this. I got this book. I'm almost finished with the manuscript. I'm going to get it published. I got this. And then I went to a conference, an online conference today. And there was a moment where I was like, what? I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm not on the same page with these folks. Like, you know, and I had to slow down enough to realize that there's a bigger story always happening, and coming back to my breath, right? And really sitting to slow down enough to slow my thoughts, to remember that there's diversity, there's a richness in everybody's experiences. So when I start getting lost, like the card that came out with the breath card here was focus on your North Star, right? Center integrity, so that you can create growth, balance, gratitude, commitment, and communication. And so as you're going through this spiral of emotional, deep emotional healing, there's going to be times where it feels like you might feel like I've stepped back. You haven't stepped back. You're on your path. just remember to take a breath, foster and focusing a new star. And every time we take that breath and we slow down to get a little bit more curious to see what's at the deeper level, what's the next level of healing, you're exploring who you are and you're peeling back those layers. And you want to do that with an immense holding of compassion and grace and love for who you are and for your process. Because remember, I always say this, I'm going to say it again. You are worthy, perfect, and whole, exactly as you are and exactly as you are not. And it moves into, hi, baby. You heard Onyx shake. Go ahead. You can go lay down. Go ahead, boo-boo. Hey, baby. So exactly as you are, so as you're going through this, just remember you have the opportunity to breathe at all times. The other thing about the breath, which allows you, it really allows you to slow down enough to rethink strategy, right? So as I said, like you're on this spiral, right? You're on this, the healing journey is not linear and there are multiple paths and avenues to take and ways to get there. So sometimes you're going to want to slow down enough to take a breath to just sort of evaluate, right? Like, do I need a different modality? Do I need a different tool to support me? Do I need to slow down enough to remember my power? Do I need to change a particular process or schedule or thing I'm doing so that I can let my inner child run free? Do I need to get up from my desk right now and have a little dance party? That breath is going to allow that process to do that. It's also going to bring you back to your base and your healing. And it's really interesting because, again, the way that Spirit had me lay the cards, this is coming like this. So you see the breath that's coming up, it's coming up. It's almost like it's bringing her back to Mother Mary and the emotional healing and knowing that you have a base, that you have a support. You have a very strong, divine, feminine, archetypal energy, old energy that is holding space, right? So Mother Mary is one such energy, but that, you know, you could think of Mother Mary is also Kuan Yin, is also Yemaya, like it's probably even other energies that I'm not naming right now, but name them for yourselves that you can come back to and lean into. Because there is no destination to a healing journey, there are aspects of healing in which you do reach being healed. And some of the message I'm getting here, like with this completion in the middle, which is really beautiful, it really is a spiral. Be aware of when those of us who have had trauma, struggle for the bulk of our experiences here on this planet, it can become something that we actually hold on to, we grip to, we get an attachment to it. And so you want to be really conscious, like that breath to do that reassessment, to kind of see, could also be, I originally said to take a breath so that you could rethink your strategy, but I'm getting the hint of like, take a breath so that you can take a moment to see how far you've come, that you are on a healing journey and there are aspects that you have healed, and that's a closure. There's a death there. There's a part that has died, and it's not to be, don't be afraid of that, because where there's a death, there is a beginning, there is a birth. And again, when the mind starts getting like, for those of us who have multiple layers that we're healing and we're going through, and your mind is like attaching to who you were, regard slowing down as a means to assess, reflect, and respond in the transmuted way that helped you create that solid inner core, right? And so continue to release any binds of reactive default thinking. And it's really beautiful because that's the card that came out, the insight card that came out with this. And here you've got this brain, it's a brain. There we go. The brain. And that there is a completion. You have the final puzzle piece to that healing, to a particular healing aspect. And know that, don't be afraid to step into the new you. Sometimes, one of the things that we constantly have to heal is this idea of, am I enough? Because our society is constantly telling us we are not. And so slow down, take those breaths, lean into the waters, the sacred waters of Mother Mary, to slow down so that you can assess, reflect, and respond, and release the binds of reactive default thinking. Because in my experience, healed doesn't necessarily mean I will never think that way again. Healed means I am aware that I am thinking that way, and I am making an active choice. I am remembering my immanent power. I am making an active choice to think differently, to do thinking differently, to assess my situation differently and create a different strategy than what I might have done during my unhealed days, right? And to foster the now. The message for Ether with the insight is actually from Spirit, and Spirit says, foster the now, focus on the journey, not the destination. So even as you do come to completion, it's a spiral. It's a spiral, right? So we started here and we go around, and then we come back, and it's a spiral, right? And it's not even, it could be, we go up, we go down, we go this way, we go diagonal. I think that's also why universe moved me to put the cards at a diagonal again, to understand the multiple directions in the flow that this could take, that your healing journey is your healing journey. And you are supported. You are supported energetically, spiritually. Seek out any tangible supports that you might need in the material world. Seek those out, because it's going to help give you solidity. It's going to help you find your authentic self and break out of the trappings of this binary world, so that you can see the totality of all you are and all that is around us, as a means of not to be afraid of that diversity or those differences, but to engage them as we all get to shine. We are each enough, and we all get to shine. And that's going to awaken that understanding that you are enough of your I. That awakens your I to help you then create and offer the energy into the collective for a different perception of the we. This is such a beautiful reading. So whoever there's some consistent cards coming in. So I do know some of the folks who consistently enjoy my readings. Like, y'all reach out to me. I love it. I think there's some folks that I don't know. And so I want to say thank you to you as well. Like the folks who let me know, I'm always saying thank you to them. I'm in gratitude for their time, because this is collective energy. We are creating this healed reality, this healed energy together. I was saying on a broom closet recording earlier today that won't be out until next week, but this idea of like, we are on individual journeys that are creating this really beautiful energy that then is, it wafts off of us and how we interact with each other. Because if I'm loving and if I'm more loving, more compassionate to myself, I'm going to be more loving and compassionate to you, to the guy who honks at me, the neighbor who doesn't say hello, and that energy goes into the collective experience. And that's what's helping push us into a different paradigm. So if you're here and you're reading this and this resonates for you, I am so grateful for you. Thank you for bringing this energy. Thank you for being willing to do the healing work. Thank you. I love you. I think that's it. That's it. There's always something that comes up, like I stop recording and I usually leave this stuff out for a couple of days, because it just kind of helps me have a better relationship with the cards as I continue to do readings for us. But there's always more that comes out. But I think this is enough for now. I really want to thank our higher selves who showed up for this, all the archangels, angels, the healed ancestors, spirit guides in the light. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you for bringing your energy, for doing the journey process, for walking your paths. I am deeply, deeply grateful. My energy is going to stay with me. Your energy is going to stay with you. Unfettered and infinite love and gratitude. And Onyx sends her love too. Take care, y'all.